Picture two people who both make $80,000 a year. The first person looks like they're doing great. Nice car, nice apartment, new phone. They're always treating themselves because they work hard. But if their paycheck is late, their whole week gets weird. They're checking the bank app like it's a medical test result. The second person looks kind of boring. Older car, smaller place. They say no to things pretty often, but they sleep like a rock. If their car needs repairs, it's annoying, not terrifying. If they lose their job, they're not instantly desperate. Same income, two completely different lives. That's the first brutal truth it took me way too long to learn. Money stress is not only about how much you make. It's about what your life costs to run. And if you're thinking, yeah, but my situation is different, I get it. Different cities, different families, different problems. But the patterns are shockingly similar whether you're in the US or the UK. People don't go broke in one day. They go broke slowly, one normal decision at a time. So here are some brutal money truths that took me 45 years to learn. Not to scare you, just to save you time. Truth number one, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. This sounds like a poster quote until you actually watch it play out. I've met people who make $50,000 and build real savings. I've also met people who make $200,000 and feel broke. If you keep $500 a month, you're building a base. If you keep $0, you're just passing money through your hands like water. And here's the brutal part. If you don't keep money, your life never becomes easier. It just becomes louder. More bills, more payments, more maintenance. So the goal isn't to make more. Making more helps, but only if you keep the gap between income and spending. That gap is where your future gets built. Truth number two, monthly payments are quiet handcuffs. Most people don't buy things anymore. They buy payments, a car payment, a phone payment, furniture financing, subscription bundles, only $29 a month. The problem with payments is they feel small, but they stack. And once they stack, your paycheck is already spent before you even touch it. When you live in a payment-based life, you don't feel rich. You feel trapped because every month starts at zero. You wake up and your money already has jobs you didn't choose today. A simple rule that would have saved me years. If you can't comfortably pay it off fast, be careful calling it affordable. A lot of people can afford a payment. Very few people can afford the lifestyle that comes with that payment. Truth number three, the big three decide your whole financial future. People obsess over little stuff like coffee. Coffee matters, but it's not the main character. The main characters are where you live, what you drive, what debt you carry. Get those three wrong, and you can budget forever and still feel stuck. Get those three mostly right, and saving feels almost unfairly easy. Housing is usually the biggest expense. If your housing cost is too high, everything becomes fragile. One surprise bill turns into a crisis. Cars are the second big one. Not because cars are evil, because car payments plus insurance plus repairs plus gas can quietly become a second rent. And debt is the multiplier. Debt makes everything more expensive. It charges you rent for your past decisions. Truth number four, emergencies are not rare. They're normal. I used to think an emergency fund was for unlucky people. Like, if something bad happens, then I lived life for a while. Stuff always happens. Tires, health, travel, family problems, rent increases, job changes, your laptop dies at the worst time. Your car chooses violence on a random Tuesday. So the real brutal truth is this. If you don't have a buffer, life will keep forcing you into bad choices. You'll use credit. You'll borrow. You'll delay repairs until they get worse. You'll take any job offer because you're panicking. A buffer doesn't make you wealthy. It makes you stable. And stability is the foundation for everything else. Truth number five, the best time to start investing was years ago. The second best time is now. This one hurts because it's true. Time is the ingredient you can't buy back. A lot of people think investing is for rich people. It isn't. Investing is for people who want their money to work while they sleep. You don't need to be a genius. You need consistency. You need time. You need to start the clock. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Nobody feels ready the first time they invest. You feel ready after you start. Truth number 6. If you look rich, you might be broke. If you look broke, you might be building wealth. This is not always true, but it's true often enough that it should make you pause. A flashy life can be funded by debt, stress, and no margin. A boring life can be funded by strong savings, low fixed costs, and a plan. The move that changed my thinking was asking one question before spending. What am I buying here, the item or the feeling? Because a lot of spending is emotional. It's I deserve it. It's I'm tired. It's I want to feel successful. But feelings are expensive when you buy them with payments. Truth number 7. Convenience is not free. It's a subscription you pay every day. Delivery, takeout, ride shares, same-day shipping. Just grab something on the way. All of it is basically you paying extra so you don't have to think or wait. Sometimes it's worth it. Most of the time, it's just a habit. Here's the brutal math. If you spend $20 extra 3 times a week, that's $60 a week. That's over $3,000 a year. And it's sneaky because each time feels small. You don't remember the individual orders. You only remember that your money disappears. A simple fix: pick your convenience budget on purpose. 1 delivery a week, or 1 ride share a week, or none during weekdays. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to stop paying for convenience without noticing. Truth number 8. Subscriptions are the new debt. Debt is loud. You feel it. Subscriptions are quiet. They don't hurt, they just drain. 1 streaming service, 1 music app, cloud storage, a gym you might go to, a delivery membership, an app you forgot you pay for. Individually, they look harmless. Together, they could be a car payment. Once a month, open your bank app and search for repeating charges. If you wouldn't pay for it again today, cancel it. Not next month. Today. And if you're scared you'll need it, remember you can rejoin in 2 minutes. You're not deleting happiness. You're deleting autopilot spending. Truth number 9. Your friends don't control your money, but they can steer it. If everyone around you spends like money grows back overnight, it gets normal. You start thinking expensive dinners are just what adults do. You start thinking new cars are standard. You start thinking you're behind because you're not upgrading fast enough. But some people are not upgrading. They're borrowing. The truth is you need a script for social spending. Something you can say without feeling weird. I'm keeping it simple this month. I already ate. I'll just hang. I'm saving right now. Real friends won't punish you. If they do, that's not a money issue. That's a respect issue. Truth number 10. The most dangerous spending is spending you can justify. The big trap isn't buying something you know is dumb. The big trap is buying something that sounds responsible. I need a reliable car. True. But do you need a $700 payment? I deserve a vacation. Maybe. But do you need to finance it? It's for the kids. Sometimes. But are you buying value, or are you buying status? If you want one question that cuts through the excuses, it's this: would I still buy this if nobody saw it? That question exposes signal spending. Signal spending is when you pay extra to send a message, not to solve a problem. Truth number 11. You can't budget your way out of a life that's too expensive. Budgets are helpful, but they can't fix everything. If your rent or mortgage is stretching you, if your car payment is huge, if you have high interest debt, no amount of cutting coffee will make you feel safe. You need room, margin, breathing space. So before you obsess over small cuts, look at the big levers. Housing, transportation, debt. If you can lower one of those, your whole life gets easier. That's why people who live below their means look calmer. They're not smarter. They just have margin. Truth number 12. Saving is not what you do with leftover money. It's what you do first. This truth should be taught in school. If you wait to save what's left after life happens, you'll save nothing. Life always expands. The easiest system is pay yourself first. On payday, automatic transfer. Even $25. Even $10. The amount matters less than the habit. Once it's automatic, you stop debating it. You stop relying on willpower at the end of a long week. And when you start saving first, something weird happens. Spending becomes simpler because your future is already protected. You can still enjoy life, but you're not gambling with your stability. Truth number 13. Your fixed costs are your real boss. Fixed costs are the bills you can't easily cancel. Housing, car payments, insurance, debt payments, childcare. If those are high, your life is fragile. You can't take risks. You can't rest. You can't breathe. The goal isn't to live tiny forever. It's to keep fixed costs low enough that one bad month doesn't wreck you. If you want one number to watch, it's the percent of your income locked into fixed costs. The lower it is, the freer you are. Truth number 14. Interest is either your employee or your enemy. When you carry a credit card balance, interest is charging you rent. When you invest consistently, interest is paying you rent. Same word, opposite direction. That's why high-interest debt is such an emergency, even if the minimum payment feels manageable. It steals your future quietly. If you're paying 20% interest while hoping to earn 8% investing, you're swimming against the current. Truth number 15. Consistency beats intensity. Most people try to change their money life with a big dramatic month. Then life happens and they quit. A smaller plan that you can repeat is stronger than a perfect plan you can't. Automatic saving, boring routines, simple rules, those are what build wealth. If you mess up, you don't need a restart of your life. You need a reset of your next decision. Truth number 16. Normal is expensive now, and that's why normal feels stressful. This sounds harsh, but it's one of the biggest things I learned late. A normal life in a lot of places now means a big rent or mortgage, 2 car payments, eating out because nobody has time, and a pile of subscriptions that you barely notice. It looks normal because everyone is doing it. But if everyone is stressed, copying everyone isn't a great plan. The brutal part is that you can do everything right, socially, good job, decent income, nice things, and still feel like you're one problem away from falling behind. That's not because you failed. It's because normal often comes with high fixed costs and low margin. So here's the money truth. If you want your life to feel calm, you have to be willing to look slightly different. Not weird, just slightly different, slightly more intentional. Truth number 17. The real goal is not more stuff. It's more options. When I was younger, I thought money was about buying things. Then I started realizing the happiest people weren't the ones with the most stuff. They were the ones who could make choices without panic. Options look like you can leave a job that's wrecking your mental health. You can handle a surprise bill without debt. You can move if you need to. You can take a risk on a better opportunity. You can say no without your whole life collapsing. That's wealth, not because it looks impressive, but because it feels free. And here's the tricky part. Options come from margin. Margin comes from spending less than you earn. Not once, consistently. Truth number 18. Lifestyle inflation is automatic unless you fight it on purpose. The easiest thing in the world is to spend your raise. You don't even notice it happening. You upgrade one thing, then another, and pretty soon your new normal costs the exact amount of your new income. So you're back where you started, just with more expensive bills. If you want one simple rule to fight lifestyle inflation, it's this. When your income goes up, your fixed costs should not go up at the same speed. It's okay to upgrade your life. But if you upgrade every time you get more money, you'll feel stuck forever. A good habit is to split raises automatically. Some goes to savings or investing. Some goes to debt payoff. A small portion goes to fun. That way you feel progress now and later. Most people only choose now. Truth number 19. Define enough or you'll never feel done. This one changed everything for me. If you don't define what enough looks like, you'll keep moving the finish line. You'll hit a number and immediately look up at a bigger number. You'll buy something new and it'll feel normal in a month. You'll think you need the next thing. So define enough in plain language. What kind of home is enough for you? What kind of car is enough? How much fun spending is enough per month? How much savings makes you feel safe? Write it down, not because it's a law forever, but because you need a target that isn't changing every time you see someone else's highlight reel online. If you're in the US or UK, the pressure is the same. Social media makes everyone look like they're upgrading nonstop. Most of it is either debt, stress, or a carefully cropped reality. Defining enough is you choosing your life instead of being pulled around by other people's spending. Truth number 20. Your money problems shrink fast when your life is cheap to run. This is not about living like you have nothing. It's about building a life that doesn't require you to be perfect every month. A cheap-to-run life has manageable housing, manageable transport costs, low required monthly payments, a small buffer for surprises, automatic saving. When your life is cheap to run, you don't need a perfect month to stay afloat, and that alone lowers stress. Truth number 21. You don't need a perfect budget. You need a simple system you'll actually follow. A lot of people quit because they try to do too much at once. They try to track every penny, never eat out, cancel everything, and become a new person overnight. Then they get tired, life happens, and they snap back. A better approach is boring but effective. One weekly check-in, one automatic transfer on payday, one monthly subscription cleanup, one rule for impulse spending like a 24-hour pause. That's it. If you do those 4 things, you'll beat most people without feeling like you're suffering. Truth number 22. The boring rule that makes wealth almost automatic is this: pay yourself first. If I could go back and tell younger me one thing, it would be this: don't try to save after you've lived your life for the month. Save at the beginning, automatically, every paycheck. Because if you wait until the end, there's always a reason there's nothing left. Something always comes up, and you will always find a way to spend what's available. So make saving non-negotiable, like rent. It can be small. It can start at $10. But it needs to be automatic. Once you do that, 2 good things happen. You build real progress without needing constant motivation. You start spending with limits because part of your money is already protected. That's how saving goes from something you try to do to something you just do. Truth number 23. There's no magic moment where you stop needing discipline. I used to think rich people must feel relaxed all the time. Like once you hit a certain number, you never worry again. The truth is, discipline doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. At the start, discipline means not buying random stuff you can't afford. Later, discipline means not upgrading your lifestyle just because you can. Even later, discipline means protecting what you built and not letting other people's expectations spend your money for you. So if you're waiting for the moment when it becomes effortless, don't. The effort just moves from survival to strategy. Truth number 24. If you're behind, the fastest way to catch up is not earning more. It's stopping leaks and lowering fixed costs. Earning more helps, but it can take time. Stopping leaks can start today. Lowering fixed costs can change your whole year. If you want the fastest feels better plan, do this. Cancel one subscription you don't use. Stop one repeating convenience habit for 1 week. Pick one spending rule, 24-hour pause, or weekly allowance. Set one automatic transfer on payday. That's enough to create momentum. And momentum is what most people are missing. Now, let me bring it home like I would if we were talking one-on-one. Most people don't need a new personality to fix money. They need a few truths that keep them from lying to themselves. They need to know income doesn't equal security. Payments stack faster than you think. Convenience is expensive. Normal isn't always healthy. Options are the real goal. And enough has to be defined or you'll chase forever. If you want a simple challenge, here it is. For the next 14 days, don't try to change everything. Just do these 3 things. Check your spending once per week. Pause non-essential purchases for 24 hours. Auto-transfer a small amount on payday. After 14 days, open your last 10 transactions again. You'll notice the difference. Not because you became perfect, but because you stopped living on autopilot. And that's really what these brutal truths are about. They're not meant to make you feel bad. They're meant to wake you up gently before life does it the hard way. You don't need to be rich to feel stable. You need margin. You need options. And you need a system that works even when you're tired. That's it. That's the game.